cat dragged in.
Holy shit, Dooley. Hey. What the fuck are you doing out here?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I was walking on the beach, minding my business, right? Who do I see? This fucking guy. You guys were living out in California.
Yeah, what are you doing out here?
On vacation, man. I'm on my way back to school.
Oh. Well, this calls for a joint. You want to do the honors?
No, man. Too fucked up.
It's nice weed, huh?
Fuck yeah. Never seen anything like this. I'm fucking wasted.
Right on.
Man. Fucking stoned. Fucking stoned. Really stoned. Fucking stoned, man. I'm really...
Stoned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I wish there was stuff like this back at home.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you doing?
What up, motherfucker?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Look who's here!
You got a guest.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. That's awesome.
Welcome, man. Welcome, Joe's Canagrows, to the show, everybody.
And
Thank you.
The crowd goes wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, I mean, tent pirate, much like ourselves, you know. I took one look at his page, and I knew right away what this guy was up to, you know, growing in a familiar way, which I'm sure we will discuss.
That's right. Just trying to get on you guys' level, you know.
Oh, too kind, man. First things first, though. My Phillies lost. Oh, wah, wah, wah. But it's all right. You know, we're Philadelphians.
Long enough to do it.
We are used to losing, I will say. It's part of being a Philly sports fan. Oh, shit. Monster, you are muted, dude.
Yeah, that's all right. I was talking to my wife anyway.
I'm sorry. Welcome, Monster, to the show.
Welcome.
But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. There's always next year. And well, shit. What's everyone smoking on?
I got some MMXX flower rosin that I actually just pressed from 2020 Mendocino.
MMX.
Yeah, I just got a press and had to do some squishing.
Hell yeah, that's like their signature strain too. MMXX is 2020 in Roman numerals. It took me a minute to figure that out.
No, it's delicious though. I mean, it'll hit you. What about you guys? What are you smoking on?
Whoa! Hold. I want to hear about this MMXX.
Yeah, tell us about it. What's it taste like?
What's it
smell
terps?
Kind of like it's like more like an earthy, little bit of fuely, jet fuel to it. Just mostly earthy smell to it, I would say. Especially with the rosin. I mean, the rosin, I'm still new to that, but it smells exactly like the flower,
Hell yeah. Now, when you say earthy, all right, now, for maybe people who aren't like kind of connoisseurs out there, like all of us, what do we mean by that? Like, really, it's because some people are like, wait, does it smell like dirt? It smells like earth?
I would almost say like a grass mulch dirt, maybe a little bit of dirt. I'm not as good at like pinpointing the specific things that anything smells like.
Got like a foresty smell to it almost. You know what I mean? That's how I'd compare it.
Okay. What about you, G3? What do you associate with earthy terps?
It is kind of dirt a little bit. Like, it's an aspect of it. There's like a slight metallicness that I kind of relate to dirt.
Yeah.
And both an earthy terpene profile. So I would say that those run parallel. But yeah, I would say like deciduous forest. Not a pine forest.
Coniferous.
We're not talking pining here.
Okay.
But a deciduous forest. Yeah, I would go with that.
I love it.
Spell it.
Can you use it in a sentence?
IDIOUS.
She just did.
I think she's right. Fuck. She always outwits us.
That could be very wrong.
So MMXX, I hear that it is a great rosin producing strain. Now, did you find that in making your flower rosin that it was, I mean, are you doing percentages, like yields from input outputs?
I didn't. I got this rosin press about, I don't know, a week ago. So just kind of throwing some stuff together, seeing what I could do. I pressed MMXX, I pressed Bubble Whip, Fugue State, and I think maybe one other, Walter White, the Backcross one. So I pressed all those just to see. I just did the, what's it called? Bottle Tech, about 7 to 10 grams each time, just trying to like figure out, especially with the bottle jack I was using, like it doesn't have the gauge on there. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out the feel for it. But going back to that, MMXX would press the best out of all of those for sure. If I can really show you guys much, but it's very like peanut buttery now. It's been 3 days.
That golden color.
Yeah, but still definitely getting into the rosin pressing and trying to figure out what's best for that. But out of the ones I've pressed so far, it's been the best for sure.
That's on my list, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So just out of curiosity, what kind of press did you?
So I'm pretty sure the company's called Rosin Press New York. If that's correct. Yep. Rosin Press New York. I just got it in. It's their 20-ton bottle jack press.
Oh, yeah.
It's a heavy sumbitch.
Gets my tool time gears flowing.
I literally have a build table for it in my grow room. I had to build.
What size are the other plates?
4x7.
Let me see if I can bring it up here.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It kind of looks similar to like the low temp looks.
What was the cost on that bad boy?
It's $1,000.
It's not bad at all.
No, and that's with the bottle jack. If you want like the hand jack with the gauge on there, I think it's $1,500. But I'm gonna get there. Just upgrade to that at some point.
Very reasonable prices this guy's got, honestly, for what they're offering. Let me
Can
bring
you
it
just
up here
switch it
real
out? Can
quick.
you just add the gauge later?
Yeah, well, yeah, basically. So it has just like a hand bottle jack in there, just basically like a car jack. It's that one in the back right there. But yeah, you can just switch it out. Basically, just pull the jack out, and you put a new like hydraulic jack in there, and you can get one with that actually has a hand pump with a gauge on there. I want to do some bubble hash pressing, stuff like that. So definitely want to have the gauge once I start getting into the more tedious things like that.
You said it was the 20-ton?
Yeah, that middle one right there. Yep.
With the jack?
Yep. So I got that middle one, the one that's $9.99. Yep.
On the right here with the.
No, the
that's
middle one.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, the
That's
middle
like,
one.
all right. Cool.
That's the one that has like the hand gauge though. Yeah.
All right. Word.
Pump gauge.
Yeah. I mean, dude, for a 20-ton press, it's all specced out with like 4x7 plates. Like that's as cheap as you'll
Yeah. I
ever
mean, I
find it.
know 20
Pretty compact size too.
the overkill, but
No, man,
Like-
you can like learn on that, and you can grow with that, and
Right.
like really, you can't grow with a press. You have to grow with different equipment. But then you use it to make your own. Yeah,
I'm definitely
you know what I mean.
buy once, cry once, type of
hell yeah.
person.
Looks portable too. Like it doesn't look that big.
It's fucking heavy. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I have just like a metal shelf, storage shelf like you'd see in a garage, and I got that, and I was gonna put it on one of the middle racks, and just use that as kind of like a table. And I was like, this thing's gonna fall through these shelves. So I literally just had to build out of like 4x4s and plywood and stuff, build a table.
Cool, man. Well, that's badass. So a relative. I mean, I wouldn't call you a noob, but like, how long ago did you get into this hobby? And you got your own rosin press now, and you're making your own dabs. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm very 0 or 100, and I'm at 100 right now. Have been. It's been about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half. Started listening to you guys actually probably about a month before I started growing.
No shit.
Popped my first seed. I think it was actually May the 4th. I'm a big Star Wars fan. It was May the 4th of 22. So that's when I popped my first seed, and that was Skywalker.
I was gonna say, you must have grown a Skywalker.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
Yeah. It's funny if you really nerd out on Star Wars, you'll like this. But I actually ended up chopping it on day 66, which is execute order 66. It was a little early looking back now, but yeah, that's how that first one went. It's been.
So you're a
been
big
about a year
Star
now.
Wars fan, and you kept listening to us, huh?
Yeah, man.
Wow. You must really like us, because I don't know if you know, but me and Captain both hate Star Wars.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, we should all have good taste.
He can at least agree with G3 on it. I mean, dude, I wouldn't say I hate it. It's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Right, and I mean, Disney getting a hold of it and everything definitely changes things up.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't like what it's become.
They poured out that idea,
Right.
that's for sure.
Right, some of the shows have been good. Some of the shows have been good.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. That you got into it for what reasons? You just personal grow, like you want your own supply, or you're not like selling it, providing it to everyone else. You just doing it for you.
I like the challenge, and I like plants. I started with house plants. I was like, I got to see if I can keep house plants alive so that I know I can do this, because it seems so out of reach, like this big scary thing, that a lot of moving pieces, light changes, everything. So it seemed like a lot. I was like, I got to see if I can keep a house plant alive first, and did that.
Houseplants are harder.
Yeah. I've definitely killed way more houseplants for sure. But yeah, kind of crept in that way, and just kind of wanted to do it. I had one friend that was growing, and I saw his setup, and I was like, I gotta try this now. He kind of pointed me in the right direction. Just started with 4 autos and AC Infinity full setup. But yeah, it's just, and I'm very ADHD when it comes to these things, and I love it's always something new. So many different strains for me to explore, and I mean, we couldn't grow everything that's out there in our lifetimes if we wanted. So it's just cool. It's cool always seeing something different, and the photographer side of me really loves that aspect of it. So I mean, it's the plants are beautiful, especially when you start seeing the fades, different colors, everything. It's easy art for me when it comes to photography. As long as you got a
you take
beautiful
really
subject.
good photos.
Thank you.
Beautiful work.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll just bring up his page now that we're mentioning it, because again, everyone should give you a follow if they're not already.
Thank you. But yeah, just for my own consumption stuff, and now more than ever, I just love getting photos and growing. I've been doing photography for a while, and I actually just made this page as just kind of like a outlet for my art, if you will. I just wanted somewhere to post. I wasn't doing any hashtags or tagging anybody or anything at the beginning. Just kind of wanted to get photos and stuff and just put it out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, and you said it, art, and the way you capture these plants, it really does. It is art.
Thank you.
But well, I see some autopots.
Yeah, man.
I see some familiar stuff, like I said, which we'll get right into.
Yeah.
But first.
His name, again, for if you want to see at home, his page is at Joe's Cannagrows. So it's JoesCannagrows.
Yep. Go give him a follow.
Because we can see what you guys can't always see.
Yeah, I could try to describe these, but no, really, my words would never do them justice, man. But
Right. Go look.
real quick, what are you guys smoking on?
You go first, G3.
I've got Funky Magnifera.
Cool.
Yeah. She's, again, the only one that doesn't make me a moron. So.
An auto,
sticking with her until the next one
a
comes out.
hybrid of Mango Smile and livers.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. She's fun. I like her. She's very middle of the road. Works well for adulting. So.
Good for adulting.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. Oh, how about you, Monster?
Got some Cherry Smash hash rosin.
Is that in-house?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. And it's got those cherry terps that you
Super
love
cherry.
so much.
It's like almost like artificial cherry. I love it.
Like cough drop cherry.
Yeah, like Luden's cough
Ooh,
drop
yeah,
cherry.
that's what I think of.
Yeah.
Hell
It's
yeah.
just it's very delightful, and I just every time I take a rip, I just can't get enough of it. So
All right, cool. Well, yeah. So I broke out, kind of in honor of our guest, one that honestly wasn't like on the front of my mind for a while, since I've had like such a bountiful harvest and all these full jars. It's the Hash Skunk Autoflower from 2020,
Oh yeah.
which, man, it's like it smells holding up. Super funky. I would maybe use the term earthy, but in that, like, not quite dirt, but like definitely umami, like probably a little skunky, but not like roadkill type skunk terps. There's a whole spectrum of skunk terps. Go listen.
Use that for some bubble.
Oh yeah, I've pressed this and it presses very well, for sure. But now, so that again, now I am a big fan of. I was going to say, go listen to our episode on the skunk terp spectrum. We've also done an episode with 2020. Go back, listen to that episode too.
yeah, that was a great show.
But I just wanted to seg right back into what you're doing, man, which I see a lot of 2020 autos, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Shout out 2020. Shout out the A team. Yeah, man, I'm on their A team. I've been doing that pretty much since the early summer. I actually did a round of their photo periods first, and after that, got sent out some R&D strains, which is what I'm running right now.
was this a photo?
That's the Bubble Whip, yeah. So that's a Bubble Whip from my last photo period run. That was the frostiest plant I've grown so far, by far.
I look at the rails on those.
MMXX was right behind that, but Bubble Whip is great. It's very similar too.
So, and funny enough, my buddy, Rare Orange, did their Queen of Diamonds, which is the hybrid of MMXX and Bubble Whip.
Yeah, I got to try that one out. I know a few people that have ran that as well, and sounds like a winner.
It looked just like this one too. I mean, like the same bud structure, you
Yep.
know, like real. I bet you they do cross very nicely.
Yeah,
Are you growing organically or with salts?
actually both. This was salts. I kind of do both of everything. I switch back and forth a lot. But that run was in the auto pots and cocoa and some 70/30 cocoa, running Floraflex.
I see. That was this plant again.
Yep.
I picked it out. See, now I know the look of the buds. I know what to look for in a full plant shot.
Yeah, that Bubble Whip had also the most dense nugs that I've personally grown so far. I mean, it's like when I was trimming and I'd drop it and it sounded like I dropped a rock on the table.
Man, so a little bit of organics, a little bit of salts,
Yeah.
but always with the trusty autopots, I see.
Right, yeah. So I've done probably like 4 or 5 different like 4-plant runs in the autopots and cocoa. I have not ventured into the soil yet, but as I was talking to Captain the other day, actually asking some questions about running the XXLs. So after a little talking, I decided I'm going to pull the trigger, which I did. Code CC10. Went ahead and grabbed the four pot setup. I'm going to try out the 9-gallon XXLs with living soil, doing photo periods in 1/10 this upcoming run.
Those are going to be some big girls.
Yeah. He told me not to get the 13, so.
Just
wise.
trust me when I say flip early.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into my current grow situation because it's just going to stress me the fuck out. But like, yeah, these 9-gallon auto pots with photo periods could get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm experiencing very real trauma at the hands of these plants right now.
So when do you recommend flipping in the XXLs?
4 weeks.
Yeah, really, no later than 6 weeks.
Okay.
Like, and now, you know, the sexing part is what got me. I sex my plants and by stressing them out in small containers before I put them in their 9-gallon pots. But like, they just explode in growth way too fast after that. I mean, if you do fems, if you do like autos, I assume you're going to do autos in these.
No, I'm going to do photos. Actually, I'm going to be doing autos and photos at the same time, but the photos will be in the soil. So those will all be 2020.
Word. Honestly, I think I'm just going to have to do like Farmer Freeman sex testing on my next round and just, you know, cull them, transplant them as early as possible, and I'll save myself this headache. But
How early do you think you can clip and flip?
Monster?
How early can you like take a...
As soon as you start to have some like side branching going on, you know, you can just take one of those branches off and flip it.
That's pretty early.
Yeah. I mean, within a couple of weeks.
Like as soon as you would top the plant too, you could just use that top.
Yeah, the top's generally not long enough to get a good seed because when you take a cut, you're counting on the plant to stay alive, and you need like as much plant material as possible. Like, so when you're taking cuts, it's a good rule of thumb to clip as long of a branch as you possibly can.
Okay. And, you know, for the people out at home who might not know our lingo, the clip and flip method, we're referring to when we're sexing our plants, you know, we can take a cutting, put that in a little solo cup full of water in like another tent and put that on 12-12 lighting. You don't even need roots on these cuttings, and within like a week they will show sex. Like you'll know exactly which one is male and female within a week.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could even throw it in a cardboard box with some strip lighting. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Oh yeah, and don't even need to be a tent setup, just CFLs and a...
Well, I wouldn't recommend CFLs because they get kind of hot. Like just the cheap like strip lighting, you can get I think it's like a 15-foot strip for like $10 at Home Depot.
Yeah, a little LED strip.
Yep, and that'll do the job.
Hell yeah, man. That's why I love you. Always full of practical info. But Yeah, dude. So, all right, you're doing autos, you're doing photos, you're doing salts, you're doing organics. Like you're obviously just soaking up everything you can.
I like a challenge. I like to make things a little difficult for myself, I guess. The truth is, I just want to do everything. There's so much to do, and I just love doing all of it. So I just do it all at the same time sometimes.
Why not? Why not? I mean, ideally, everyone would have that mentality, right? But it's not how most people work.
Yeah, a lot of people are stuck in their ways. Kind of just want to do one thing. You know, if you're good at something, a lot of people just stick to that, and that's cool. But I love learning. You know, there's so much to learn, so I just constantly trying different things.
Do you have any pictures on your page of like your organic grows, or have you not really? Are you just starting those?
So I kind of did 2 on the side. This last grow, I just did 2 autos in 7-gallon pots, just kind of like as a side experiment for myself. And I did that in a 3x3, and I might have posted some bud shots. But more recently, I've been trying to get more full plant, full tent shots up there. I love nug shots. You know, it's kind of my jam. But
yeah,
trying to get some more full tent stuff.
Full plant photos are really hard. I think it's one of the hardest things.
It's tough. Yeah. The light, so the lighting, getting photos for it is tough. Just because in the auto pots, because they're, for the most part, especially once they're in flower, they're pretty stuck in there. So I mean, I've done like 5-gallon soil grows, just, you know, top watering, and with that I could take it out of the tent, put it in front of like a black wall or something, get some photos. But with the auto pots and stuff, I kind of got to keep it in the tent. So getting those shots is a little harder. I gotta add a
beautiful colors, nice fade.
Yeah, I love all these, man.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for those dark purple leaves like that, especially for the photos.
What's your favorite strain you've ever grown?
Ooh, that's a close tie between the Bubble Whip from 2020 and Fugue State from Mephisto. Yeah, the Fugue State was that was, I think
that's Walter White, but it's actually I
White,
thought it looked similar. It's funny because Walter White's one of the parent strains of Fugue State, I do believe.
Yeah, so the Fugue State was awesome. I mean, Fugue State had those like frosted Flintstones candy type terps too. I mean, I'm a sucker for that. I love that.
I actually described mine as like strawberry Belgian waffles.
Okay.
Which was delightful, but it like exactly like waffles you'd get at like Waffle House, like that strawberry jam all over it. Like I don't know what was up.
I need to hire you to come over and just smell all my plants and tell me exactly what they smell like. Because I can get in the ballpark, but I can't like pinpoint exactly what it is.
Man, I don't know. Sometimes I guess they say sense is very closely tied to memory, and maybe in some people, like in myself included, like it's more closely tied to memory, and you can like access those like associations of other smells and stuff. I don't know.
So you're telling me my memory and my smell is shit.
I guess.
And I'm blind, dude. And I'm blind. I thought when one of your senses went out, your other ones were supposed to be better, but I'm just all fucked.
Don't work like that.
Yeah.
Don't work like that. So that's badass, man. Honestly, I could just stare at your plants all day. They're gorgeous, man. You really did grow a nice plant.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, that's that MMXX. Frosty as fuck, boy.
Yeah, it was frosty. Yeah, I think the Bubble Whip and the MMXX was the first time I really saw some just crazy frost rails on like the sugar leaves and stuff.
Word. All right, I'm gonna stop looking because I'm getting distracted here.
All right, what's a strain that you don't want to grow again that you didn't like?
Oh, let's see.
G3 firing a great question.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like. Tell me what you hate.
I grew some Skittles before then. I was not a fan.
Who was the breeder? Because there's like 75 breeders.
Right. It was Premium Cultivars. Yeah, so
I never
they'd
heard.
sent me a couple out. I tried them out. Wasn't a fan of the Skittles. I grew their, that was actually in the living soil, that one run. I grew their strawberry diesel as well. That one was actually pretty good. But the Skittles, nah, it was extremely airy. I mean, like the right next to the strawberry diesel, nice, dense, beautiful nugs, and the Skittles was just, I mean, it was just like little calyxes everywhere. There was nothing really.
That's always disappointing. So
Yeah.
much time and effort.
Yeah, it was, but again, I was just kind of messing around, trying
Especially
with the living soil.
I hate when I see plants like that don't perform. I like totally like let them hear it too. I'm like, you know what? You're fucking useless.
And I was like, I know
You
this isn't
suck. I can't believe somebody pollen made you.
me. Yeah. Yeah, at first I tried to be like, okay, it's probably something I'm doing, you know, but I don't know. Everything else was doing good at the same time. It could have been.
Yeah.
I could have messed up.
Yeah, if all your plants are healthy and you're doing all the same shit, you can usually tie that to genetics.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of going into that though, it's really tough. I've found with the autopots trying to keep everything the exact same, especially when I'm running like 4 different strains.
Yeah.
It's tough if one wants something else, you know, going out of the reservoir. I guess if I maybe get a second reservoir, but that's a lot of space per tent. But I kind of gotta favor one over the other sometimes, you know. And
you can usually find like a happy medium, but
Right.
at the end of the day, it's one of them or not going to be completely happy.
right,
You know.
Pick your favorite.
I always say, I'm going to give both of my tents the same amount of attention. I would never choose favorites,
Just
but
always
yeah,
a favorite tent.
of course you do. Yeah, it's always a favorite tent.
I got a
for
favorite
sure.
tent too. It's the one I keep posting.
Yeah, just like parents tell you they don't have a favorite kid.
Yeah.
They do.
Shit, I got favorite plants and favorite tents. You know, just how it goes. So yeah, what kind of lights are you rolling with, man?
So right now I've got a Mars Hydro FCE 4800, I believe is what it is. I've had that one actually for like a year. It's been good, no complaints really. I mean, I can move the driver outside the tent. You know,
Those are fine lights.
yeah.
I
it's
wish
been
they
good.
would just remove the extra zero. So
I know that's how Mars Hydro does it, though. I mean,
they're not the only one though. Like all those other smaller manufacturers.
Yeah, it's a
with
bigger
smaller
number. It
numbers.
makes it sound
Yeah,
better.
it like because then it just makes it easy. How many watts is this for?
480.
Come on.
No,
What are we doing here?
It'll be the 4 million in a few years.
Yeah, are they just gonna keep going up?
They're like, we can't go down now. We're gonna have to keep raising it.
Well,
Fine
yeah.
light though.
Yeah, I got that
you know,
one, and
nice bar style. It puts out a shit ton of light for what do you got? 3x3, 4x4.
I got 2 4x4s. I do have a 3x3, but that's kind of on standby as a like a dry tent in case something finishes early.
Yeah, those bar fixtures can't be beat, man. They're just you're gonna get a better spread. You're gonna be able to cover more area with less watts. I'm a big fan of them. I don't own any of them personally. But when I do need a new light, I will be going bar. It's just it's a much better design than the quantum board, plate style lights.
And I will just interject here too. Like, as much as I do love that Mars Hydro, like it's a quality fixture for like a good price. Does the job, right? If you do invest a little bit more money, like my 5x5, I have an optic LED, like big, American made, like, they're pretty reputable company. They're out there. And the design of this light is such that the heat sink is so fucking big, man. Like the thing runs cooler than any other bar fixture that I think they claim on the market, but it's way cooler than the Mars Hydro that I have. The point being, in my current chaotic grow situation where I've super cropped literally every branch multiple times because they were just growing too fucking tall. Every top is like 2, 3, maybe 4 inches below that LED light, and it's totally fine. They're totally fine there. If they're only not fine if they're literally touching the the LEDs. That's the only time they're not okay.
Now,
Like,
are
yeah,
those diodes covered under glass?
they all have like an optic put over top of them. So I don't know if they are waterproof, but like they are coated with an optical.
Well, I was just asking
lens,
because I've
I
seen
think.
people ruin their lights. If your plants like grow into your lights and the diodes aren't covered, you'll ruin the light.
No
Even
shit.
like, yeah.
I can see that. The bud just sitting up against one of the diodes.
Yeah, just the plant matter like growing into the light. It just I've seen like diodes get burnt out.
I feel like any oils or anything would probably be bad for that. Yeah. Even I would say
makes
even
sense.
touching them with your hands probably isn't great.
No, not recommended.
Gloves. As with most things in your grow, wear gloves.
Yeah,
That's a
for
good
sure.
idea.
So, bar fixtures are where it's at. But then it's like not all bar fixtures are made the same. The one I have now is because it's so cool is the reason I think I'm going to make it to the end here.
That's
truly.
a badass light.
But that's, so we got LEDs, boom. We got auto pots, boom. We got quality genetics, boom. 3, essential ingredients, I would say, to get yourself started and start growing like the way this guy's growing.
Yeah,
truly.
definitely.
I mean,
Set
this should be
yourself
an
up for
inspiration.
success.
Thank you.
Inspiring me to just start from scratch again.
There's a lot of easier ways to do it than what I'm doing it too. I definitely make it way more difficult on myself. But just taking one little aspect from that. I mean, if you're a new grower, you're looking to get started, getting autopot set up. I would say maybe even run soil and autoflowers would maybe be where I'd point people. But
yeah, now I'm curious, why do you say soil?
I just think it's just a little more hands off, in my opinion. I mean, rather than mixing up newts every 4 days, whatever it may be, depending on how many plants you got going. I just think I don't know. I started with soil as well, and I'm kind of glad that I did. And I feel like I had to learn how to do the watering, doing top watering with that. But if you're throwing them into auto pots, I mean, you kind of learn that watering those first, 20, 25 days while it's getting started, and then tap it into that auto pot, and it just kind of takes all that under watering out of it.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, except for we have 2 episodes, basically telling people they suck at growing autoflowers.
Well,
They suck if you don't listen to our tips. That's the point. You know what I mean? Like, one of which is set yourself up for fucking success, like Joe did. I mean, the easiest way to do it, we've always said, is auto flowers and auto pots in living soil. There's water only. Take a lot of elements that beginners struggle with out of the equation. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's anything inherently bad about autoflowers that'll mean you can't grow them well. I just think that I don't know, maybe people struggle with them because they didn't start with them.
Well, they're a little fussier, especially in the early stages. That first 2 to 3 weeks, go for a while.
Yeah. Though it's always the people that started with the autos that seem to grow them better. You ever notice that?
Yeah, they were pretty small at first for me.
It's just like anything else, right? You say you start a new job, it's a completely new skill set to you, new career, right? And or you have somebody that just started that job, they've done the career, but they already think that they have an idea of what they're doing. The person training you is going to like the raw guy better, because it's a lot easier to teach a new guy how to do things the right way. But when you have somebody that's been in it for a while, they already think they know it all. It's going to be hard to kind of teach them the way. And I see that a lot with photo growers and moving to autos. You try to tell them that they need to do things a little bit differently. They don't want to hear it, and then they fuck it up and call off growing autos the rest of their career. So,
well,
you just got to step back and kind of realize that you don't know it all. And you do have to do things a little bit differently to get the results you're looking for.
For sure. Now, I think it kind of jives with the way I'm thinking about Joe and, this Renaissance man, this like modern cannabis Renaissance man who just kind of takes it all and runs with it, man. Like, it's when you have an open mind as a beginner, you're able to learn all these different techniques that like a lot of people become closed off to. The more they become like a seasoned grower, the more like in our own lanes we always try to stay. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm a photo guy and I grow with salt, so like why would I pay the fuck attention to anyone who's talking about organics and autos? That's not how we should think. But like, it's easy to get into that kind of mindset as we get into this hobby more. But as a beginner, man, your mind's totally open. So you have this like narrow window of time to absorb as much as you can about everything. And then you become closed-minded and yeah.
Yeah, I think experimenting.
Then you become a curmudgeon.
I think experimenting in the beginning is definitely important. I mean, I don't know. Some people might argue that it might be good to kind of master the one thing you're working on currently, but I don't know. I think there's so many different ways you can go, really, and different newts you can use. You can go soil, cocoa, you can fabric, pots, hard. But there's so many different ways you can go. I think you should experiment a little bit in the beginning and figure out what you like. Because I mean, you might think you're gonna like what the people you follow, your favorite people on Instagram or whatever. You might think you're gonna like that stuff the most, but I don't know, everybody's a little different, so I think you should try a bunch of different things and figure out what actually speaks to you.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to do it. Find out what works for you.
Find out.
Yeah, find out.
Fuck around.
I'm still doing that every single grow, just fucking around.
Aren't we all? Truly. Yeah. Truly, man. But, all right, so we covered your lights. We kind of covered your medium. You're switching to coke. You're switching back to soil. You said
half. So I'm gonna do living soil, XXL 9-gallon auto pots with photo periods this next run, and then at the same time I'm gonna be doing probably 4 autos in cocoa again.
Fuck.
In the regular XL auto pots.
And those are going to be with the Floraflex newts still?
Yeah, I have a bunch, so I might end up using it, but I kind of want to just try something different. Yeah, I don't know.
So let me just give you some advice. Just use those newts because you'll never go back to them.
Yeah.
And unless you've got plenty of money to burn, because I've done that myself. Like, oh, I just want to try this. I'll go back to those. And you never do.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't. If whatever I go to, and I'm open to suggestions, whatever anybody recommends. There's so many options, but I love growing in cocoa. Just that vigor, that fast growth, and how big the plants get. I mean, I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of my autos are bigger too. So. I'd still like to do cocoa, maybe even do like a living soil or a living cocoa, type blend at some point. But
just add that Gaia Green for.
Yeah. No, I might do something like that. But yeah, I'm totally open to suggestions for what direction to go. Floraflex is the first one I tried. It hasn't been awful, hasn't been amazing. I mean, I've had some plants react great to it and some haven't, just staying almost on their chart. I go a little bit below.
Yeah, Monst's totally right, though, about like finishing that open pack or whatever. My mom used to yell at me for like, did you open that bag of chips before you finished that old one? What are you doing? Like, you're never going to eat that old one now. She's right. She's right. Don't ever go back to the old bag of chips.
No.
Don't waste that money either.
No, and it's like the old chips are perfectly fine too. Like for what they are, chips. You're not going to they're going to serve the same purpose, right? But don't. As much as we like to buy new products, I don't think like buying products should be part of that new grower, delving into all these, you got to buy stuff, but It's like once you're in that world, you don't need to like buy all the different products in that world to try all these new things. It's just kind of like they're all the same after a certain point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
6 different nutrients here.
there you go.
That's it. And
Get
they've all worked fine. Like, do I love them? They're okay. Do I love, like, am I in love with any of them forever? No. They all work fine.
It's just like Strong Island says it in the chat. He's like, you know, G3's got 6 open boxes of cereal in her cabinet, just sitting there looking at it. There you go.
I feel like having Captain Crunch this morning. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
I'm definitely guilty of that, though. Absolutely guilty of that.
What kind of soil are you going to go with when you do organic?
So I'm thinking I'm gonna go. I've run it one time before, but Big Worm Organics. They're local to me too. I'm pretty sure they're Virginia based. I got a couple of really great grow shops over here, both within between 5 and 15 minutes of me. So they all carry all the local stuff too. But Big Worm is definitely a good one. I ran that again, and that's actually the one that performed a little better out of that first living soil run that I did.
And it's a water only soil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm assuming I might have to top dress at some point.
If you go to those big ass pots, you'll probably be all right.
Yeah, even with photos.
Oh yeah. I think you know, a little microbe life hydro goes a long way too. You know, if you're using any kind of like microbe product too, like that.
I got their sample of the Terps Plus. I've been using that with the cocoa, but I was wondering if I might be kind of making that not work by using Floraflex's root drip, because it's like it's almost like the cleanse, I think, with Athena is what it's called.
Yeah, you don't need that shit, especially if you're using Photo Plus.
Yeah,
it'll help clean lines.
Yeah, I got the sample of that. I've been using that for this grow, but about a week ago I was thinking about it, and I was like, I might be just kind of ruining the point of this. So
I don't know, but I've been using that Terps Plus too, which is one of their new products.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like 100% organic, but guess what? I don't give a fuck. Like I want the terpiest shit I can get. And if this one inorganic input is going to help my otherwise organic weed just like become 5% more terpy, then I'm in.
Yeah. And you're using the Photo Plus too?
Yep.
Are you going into the res with that, or just whenever you top dress or
both?
Something like that?
All of their shit, all of it goes in the res, man. Like all of it. And I'm trying to get them back on the show because I really want to talk about like their whole line of products is what I think really like takes a water only auto pot soil grow and like pushes it over the edge and like enables you to, I mean, it's not water only, right? Because you're adding shit to the water, but it's not nutrients. Like it, and the way I do it, I just like, all right, a shot of this, or I have a shot glass on my counter, you know, an ounce of this, boom.
Yeah, their
boom,
products are great that way. You can just kind of throw them in.
It's the organic.
Throw them in. I don't pH it. I just mix it all up and pour it in the reservoir. It all stays soluble. It's not goopy. Like there's nothing about it doesn't make you just like shit's fucking awesome. It really is.
I'm definitely gonna give those both a go with this living soil. I still have some Recharge from one of my last grows.
Yeah, Recharge is a good product.
Recharge is great too. I don't know if I'd put it in a res though.
No, I don't think I would either. That shit's dirty. Even in a mixing bucket. I mean, I'm definitely gonna wash that out.
Yeah, it's like I got fish shit too, and I don't put fish shit in the res. It's starting to stink.
I put it in my coffee.
I'm excited just to be able to dump water into the res and not have to mix everything up.
Yeah, dude. It's so the way to go. It really is. It really is. All right, so let's talk. All right, you've done a couple harvests, I assume. You got a couple under your belt.
Yes.
All right. How are you said you got like a dry tent, separate tent you're using for that?
Yeah. So I have a 3x3 setup just because I've run into the situation where plants have been done before other ones, especially with multiple different strains. So getting a pinch, and I'm like, oh man, I really need somewhere to try this. So I pretty much just keep a 3x3 on the side, just in case. Like I want to use it in the next grow and hope that whatever's in there finishes first. But it's kind of my.
No, dude, don't.
I can tell you, don't fall into that trap.
I've tried to.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
I always look at my dry tent and I think to myself when it's not being used for drying, like, you know what? I should put a plant in there.
Yeah,
I
I've
should
done
put
it.
three
Yeah.
plants in there. Just don't. Just don't. Again, we have a previous episode called A Dedicated Dry Space, The Final Frontier, for all you Star Trek fans out there. Go listen to that. You need a dedicated dry space is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely a good idea. And having a little humidifier hooked up to there. Either I like the AC Infinity one. I've got like another reptile fogger as well that I like. That way you can keep it outside. And then a little window unit in case I got to drop the temps. Thank God we're getting into the wintertime. I made the mistake of having a harvest middle of the summer, this year, and had to just crank the AC the whole time. So
Yeah, midsummer harvests are tough, even with climate control, because it's humid, it's hot, it's fucking.
yeah,
tough.
it's okay. I mean, it was okay since I had the window unit and the dehumidifier and everything in there. But damn, that power bill,
Yeah.
running a dehu and a AC unit, not great.
No, I've seen the same thing on my end, dude. I think I'm just gonna not grow during the summers, honestly.
Right.
Like
Just
I
don't
might just
harvest
shut
in
it
the
down.
summer.
Call the electric company and just tell them, listen, man, I'm just trying to grow some grass here. See what they can do,
Like, your house is actually, you're using a lot more energy than your
Oh,
neighbors.
I love when I get those things. I laugh. I post them on the fridge.
Yeah.
It's like, because like you're using 97% more electricity than all your neighbors. Like, oh, really?
It's a point of pride.
It's my
man.
PC, man. This PC sucks power. I got 3 monitors. It's probably a 500 watts of monitor.
That's right. I got a really old vacuum.
Yeah.
This thing
I'm
just
Bitcoin mining.
Those
the
space heaters are electricity suckers too.
yeah, they are for sure, man. And those, I got a little space heater. Not the most ideal heater, but it's what I got, like, and just a little safety tip. Those should always be plugged directly into a wall socket, never into a like extension cord or like an outlet multiplier, power strip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Those should generally be on their own circuit, like, the full size ones.
Yeah, if
they
you
use,
can.
they use a lot of power.
Yeah,
For
yeah. I'm not going anywhere past where I'm at right now. I wish I knew someone that was an electrician to come over and help me rewire everything just so I could push more, but I'm good where I'm at right now.
word, man. So are you doing a wet trim, dry trim,
Dry trim.
no trim?
Yeah, no, definitely dry trim. Almost every time I dry, it's like 14 days on the dot, almost always between 14 and 16. If I'm not ready, I just leave them in that environment a little bit longer, as long as I keep those parameters right.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 4+ plants at the same exact time. I definitely let them go a little bit longer in there, but yeah, dry trim for sure. Usually takes me a good bit just hand trimming. I haven't used any like the bowl mixers, anything like that yet. But I don't know. I'm a little too OCD, like anal about that. I feel like I have to get in there.
So much.
Trim
Oh,
bag,
God.
man. I will
So
say,
much.
trim bag fucking works. But like, I have not used my trim bag on certain buds because it does kind of like, it takes a little bit of the trichome coverage off. It makes it not as presentable as it otherwise would have been, perhaps.
Bimtreg.
Yeah, the BIM track. Oh, it brings me back. Yeah, the other trimming products, man, I don't think, honestly, I've seen like 10, 12,000 plus $50,000 professional trimming products. Not one of them better than a set of hands and a scissor.
Right. I would like to try some of those like electric hand trimmers just because I've got elbow problems. So that constant squeezing when I'm trimming, I mean, it hurts. It hurts.
I think those are all cool, but I still haven't seen one that's quicker than just me and a pair of scissors.
Right. I'm sure.
The only thing that saves time is like those trim machines. And I've used a couple of them that are okay and they work, but there's a compromise there, right? Like, yes, it's going to trim your shit way quicker than you could by hand, but it's not going to do as good of a job while also knocking trichromes off. Okay. But it's really negligible. Like it doesn't, to me, there's so much to trim these days. It's just, I can't possibly trim it all by hand. So I've been using a machine for the past 6-7 months.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and it just works. You still have to go in there and trim it up, though.
Yeah, kind of cleaning up a little at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I do love my trim bag, my Bimtrag.
Those just look like they take up a lot of space.
Dude, no, actually, you know what? Like they collapse and they have they come with like a bag, right? And it goes in like, it fits perfectly in like the side of a closet. I see it on the corner of a closet right over there. Takes up no space. It pops open when you need it. And I run probably 3/4 of all my plants through that thing, man. It saves me a bulk of time, you know? It does 80 to 85% of the job. It takes it down to, I mean, really, you could, in some plants have such little leaf coverage anyway that it takes off enough that you just throw it right in a jar. You do nothing else. Fuck, those are the best, you know what I mean? But it's definitely worth looking at. If you hate trimming like I do, I thought that was the one that did the best for sure.
Yeah, so far at a year and a half, the trimming doesn't. It's more the pain that bothers me from it. But I like tedious work like that. Like I'll just sit down, watch a movie, and trim, or listen to a podcast, something like that. I like that mindless, tedious kind of work like that. But it does fucking hurt at the end for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Excuse, I have to admit.
I hate trimming.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll get there.
That's what I'm going to say to my wife. It hurts so bad. I can't help. You just got to do it all this time. I can't do it.
It's so painful. I can't take another inch. I mean, I can't trim anymore.
So you're obviously succeeding in what you set out to do, which is, grow some dank for yourself, right? Your head stash.
Yeah.
You got any plans to take it somewhere else?
Not entirely onto any other levels than where I'm at right now. I'm definitely trying to get better at my photography craft more than anything, trying to get like lighting dialed in, maybe even venture into some video work. Video is a whole other ball game. I have very little experience with video. I've got the equipment for it. It's intimidating going into like a whole different level of editing and everything, but I think I can be good at that. So might delve into some video work. Kind of mentioned it like to you before, like I haven't really been in front of the camera type person. I've always been behind. I've done photography for so long. So like, I don't know if I'd put myself on camera and do anything like that. But
is that what you do full time, photography?
No, it's I have done it way more often in the past, but I got to the point where I didn't want my passion to become something I hated. So I started only accepting jobs that I really wanted to do. I've shot weddings, sports competition, like just so many different things. And I just got to the point where people were asking me to do things, and I was like, God, I don't want to do that, And I just didn't want that. I love photography. I've been into it for so long. So now I pretty much will only accept it if it's something I really want to do.
But you just want to take pictures of what you want to take pictures.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've been burnt out on previous passions, in my life. I think everybody has, and
Fuck yeah.
I don't want that to be another thing. That's been my, like I've said, I'll say it again. That's been my art for so long. So
Cool, man. Well, that's totally something to get into, man. I mean, really, there's a lot of potential in, just the way people are going to have to market themselves is going to all be through social media and content creation and video work.
Yeah.
If you can be like, the food photographer or videographer of the cannabis world, I mean, in the way they make like a Big Mac or a Whopper look like the best fucking thing you've ever seen on a commercial, you know what I mean? Like, goddamn, those Whopper commercials, that flame broiled, man. You're just like, goddamn, and then you go get one. It's like, nah, don't quite look like that.
yeah,
But those are real. Like most of the time, I think it's real food.
maybe.
Actually, no, I think it's probably mostly like Play-Doh and prop food. It's
Special
just
effects.
made to look succulent and delicious.
That's a clay burger.
hate
There's a whole
'em.
documentary on this. I can't recall what the name is.
Just like food commercials.
Wouldn't that be interesting though?
Yes.
Like, though in the future when there's like weed commercials, if it would be like totally fake weed, not even real, just like
AI created.
Yeah, they could do it. They could definitely do it.
we'll just add a little extra layer of trichomes here just to make it
Look at this beautiful dispo weed.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is Skittles
Yeah, no.
Chat GPT.
It'd be really cool though. I'd love to get to the point where I've got my photos and websites, catalogs, wherever that may go. That'd be really cool.
Start tagging High Times in your photos. You'll get their attention.
Yeah, I should tag
There
High
you go.
Times.
Yes. Oh, speaking of, big shout out to Mama Q, who was reposted by High Times Magazine herself.
Oh, sweet.
So she had a beautiful,
awesome.
beautiful shot of one of her
Congrats,
husbands.
Mama.
So, yay to her.
Yeah, congrats, Mom. And yeah, dude, you should do that because I mean your stuff's it's High Times quality
I appreciate that.
for sure.
Yeah, it's if you could get a look at me when I'm doing it, it probably would boggle your mind how funny and simply I do it. It's not a huge process.
No,
No, it's not. I'll delve into that a little bit. I literally have like a 1 foot by 3 foot piece of black cardboard or black construction paper, sorry. And I will reach into my tent, hold that behind the plant, and snap pictures like that most of the time. If I'm just being quick going, like as long as I have a black backdrop, I can
Spaceman
do
pretty
the
much told us the same thing.
Yeah,
so it's like, all right, I'll bring it up again.
it's a lot of it's in post processing, and I use Adobe Lightroom. So a lot of it, as long as I have a black background, even if there's light hitting it or whatever, I can go in there and select the background, turn the blacks up, and
All right, like this picture. That's what you did with it? You
yeah,
just stuck
literally,
that
I
black
have
piece of
I have just a
cardboard in your
janky
tent?
piece of black
Yeah.
construction paper I held behind it, and
That's badass.
yeah,
Actually.
that's
a
with the
great
tent
idea.
light and everything, because I can't, like, again, I've had to get creative with not really being able to take the plants out of the autopots.
Yeah, you
So
can,
that's-
but it's just like
you can, but it's going to be a mess. I've tried.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't go in that grow room without spilling water everywhere. It does not matter what I'm doing. I spill water almost every time I go in there. I don't know how. But yeah, it's and with the roots going into the tray, sometimes I don't know. I don't want to disturb them, but yeah, you just kind of gotta get creative.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. But you're using like I don't even know what they call them anymore.
So I've
High
got
quality camera, not a
Mhm,
phone,
so
right?
I've got a not a DSLR. Sorry, I used to. I have a mirrorless. So this is a Sony A7 III. I've had this for a while. For you camera people out there, I got a Tamron 28-75 lens on there, and this is really what I keep on there most of the time. I've got a macro lens that I'll use sometimes. It's just a little more setup, but I'm lucky to have that. I mean, I made my money off that for a while, so like it made sense for me. I don't think everybody should go out and buy a nice mirrorless camera.
And Spaceman says he was doing it with just his iPhone.
Yeah, phones are crazy now. I probably won't even need that in a few years, honestly. But I can tell a difference. I mean, I know some
for
people
sure.
can, but
I can see like your photos are a little sharper than I would expect from even a good iPhone 15 or something.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I think I remember
They
hearing
can't do this still.
Spaceman's episode 2, and like he said, I mean, it's all lighting, and it's if you get the good lighting in there, it's pretty good. Even with a phone, you add a lot of light, and it looks like a professional camera.
Man.
So, but I will. I'm just really, again, I'm really anal about how I run my page and have my photos up and everything. So I won't post anything that's with the phone. I just won't. Maybe on my stories and stuff, but I just, if it's not that crisp quality, like I have a hard time watching old movies now because I'm so used to staring at these super high quality images. It's crazy. I get really really picky about that. But
I
for
love
me,
that it's all plants too, man. Like that's, show plants. That's what I say when I look at people's pages.
Well, it's give the people what they want,
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
plants.
I try to just kind of stick to what I want to do. I mean, that was kind of the whole goal of this page in general. I have other social media accounts that have way more followers that have done well. And this was just, I just kind of wanted to just put my photos on. Again, I didn't use any hashtags, anything like that. I was just post them and seeing, whatever traction they get is cool.
Bro,
Yeah, it's
badass,
gotta
man.
be a high quality.
I love it. Well,
Speaking of your page, I mean, it'd be a good segue to tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, pretty much solely on Instagram at Joe's Canagrows. I'm on Discord as well. I'm trying to get a little better with Discord. I'm in a few different servers on there. I'm on 2021. I'm in you guys Discord, the YAG Discord. Try to be a little active.
Nice.
Discord's a whole other world though.
yeah, it is.
I'm not super social, so it's getting in there and just like there's just conversations all over the place, trying to figure out where to get in there. And
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's gotten to the point where it's replaced Instagram for me. Like, I don't even really open the app much anymore. And when I want to communicate with people, that's what I go to.
right. Yeah, I've actually been definitely posting almost more in Discord, especially on the 2021 because they have specific, threads for each strain. So I'm pretty much every time I do a shoot on there, I go on and I post almost everything right away.
Yeah.
So with like my IG, I'll post usually once a day if I can, if I remember. But I try to do at least once a day because I'll go in, I'll shoot all the plants, and then I'll post those photos over the next, week or two. Usually every 10 to 5 days, something like that. I'll do a new shoot. And so if you ever see me like day 70, it's just because I'm getting through my photos. I don't want to post everything all at once.
That's smart.
It makes
Definitely get
sense.
frustrated and just dump them all in there.
It's hard. I start forgetting photos. There's stuff that I really like that I wanted to post, but I'm like, but I got new photos, so I'm not gonna keep posting the old ones. But
No, I hear you.
I dump everything on Discord pretty much.
That's right. Just like you don't open that new bag of chips till you've done the old ones.
Man, fuck that. Open them shits.
Don't make that mistake. Don't do it. You know what? I'm not sure if we have any new Patreons, but I do want to take the time to just mention that we have one, guys. If you want to support the show, head right over to our Patreon page. I did just throw up not one, but 2 episodes edited in early access, for you podcast listeners out there. Yeah. So you get, listening, little earliest listening rights. And we are about to set up like a new Patreon seed, giveaway. So that is part of the deal too. So, head over to our page. Give us some support. We love it. And thank you to everyone who does. We appreciate you very much. Shit, what else? Any other? What's the fucking moon doing, G3?
Oh, so we've got on the 28th, there is a full moon with a lunar eclipse. So leave it alone.
Shit.
Don't touch it.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Don't
That's
charge
wild.
No moon
anything.
water. We don't want any. Nothing.
Just ignore the moon for this month.
That
We'll come
doesn't
back.
I want to
sound-
see that shit.
It's just
Interesting.
it's just chaotic. It's, I personally think that there's an association between chaotic moon water and herms, but that's
Maybe we don't even know where. Like, so can moon water, like, does it have to be like in the moonlight, or can the moon and its different quirky phases affect our water from inside the house?
I mean,
like, can that be a cause of all of our
have
herms?
you been around people during the full moon? They're freaking insane.
You're right. You're fucking right.
Yes.
Okay.
We are like 70+% water. Right. And just think, the water in your body a week ago was a thunderstorm, and a week from now will be the ocean. So,
oh my God.
You know, you are personally involved with all of that. We're all interconnected. So yes, we are affected by the moon.
I just got to learn more about the crystals now, because I like them. I have some in my tents right now. I could not tell you what they are. My sister gave me a bag full of different ones, and she wrote down what they were, but I couldn't tell you which one was which. I put them in there though. I really like it.
Yeah, it makes a difference. All good stuff.
As long as you don't have chaos moon water charged up in those bitches.
Probably, if you do, nothing's going to go catastrophically wrong, you know, but...
You just may die.
I just... maybe.
Don't be a pussy.
I've always maintained, listen, as someone who's fucked around and found out with crystals in their pots and doing all sorts of weird shit to your crystals before you put them in there, like, if you believe that they can help your plants, then you better believe they can hurt your plants.
Yeah, especially if you drop it on a seedling.
Exactly. Yeah. You just stole my joke. Fuck.
You hear that frequency now, motherfucker?
Yeah. Just a little LST.
That's funny as fuck, man. Just
that might be high stress.
Big amethyst.
Yeah, definitely high stress.
It's a bonsai, I swear.
You just have to, keep, like we've been saying, keep an open mind about stuff. Always constantly be learning.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gotta point to you. You're a shining example of, the mentality that more people should have, even as seasoned growers. So...
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
If any, I'm still a beginner too. Yeah, thank you. If anybody has questions too, especially if you're a newer beginner, hit me up, because I'm still in that phase. And I like trying a bunch of different things. I like talking to people. I've got like 2 friends that grow, so I have almost nobody to talk to about it. So I'm always down to talk.
All right. So here's the thing. Like, people love hearing from other growers, mm-hmm. right? Straight up. Like, they can see themselves in you. A lot of people can, I'm sure. And like some of our listeners, a lot of times, like the way I look at them, like a teenager. If you've been with us for a while, like, sometimes you tune us out a little bit, maybe just a little bit. You've heard us say these things once. You've heard us say them twice. You've heard us say them 3 times, perhaps many, many more. And you're just like, at some point you just like tune us out. But look, you're hearing it from another person out there who's having success with some of these methods that, like, we do talk about. It's not like we're telling you this for your own fucking good. Why don't you just listen to us?
It's free information. There's so much information out there. Just drown yourself in podcasts and YouTube videos. If you surround yourself with all that content, you will learn stuff, and it'll go into your growth.
I thought it would help. Our teenage listeners who tune us out to hear it from another person, man. And
don't make me really turn this car around.
That's exactly right. And dude, you're just like you're killing it, man. Really,
I appreciate that.
I love what you're doing, and keep it the fuck up, please.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Well, I got here listening to you guys. I literally have gone along this past year and a half, got the autopots when you guys started talking about that, and just listening, trying what you guys are saying, trying what other people are saying too. It's lots of good knowledge here. I appreciate it. You guys always have good guests too.
Thanks, man. Thanks, dude. Speaking of which, I'm reaching out to a couple people we did mention earlier on the show. So, like, stay tuned for perhaps a couple guest episodes coming in the near future. So, but yeah, I don't have much else, guys. Do you?
No, I'm good. Just thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Thanks for your time, man.
Pleasure.
Thank
We
you.
enjoyed having you on.
Really.
Thank you.
Great.
Keep up the good work.
Truly.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, thank you for listening. Thanks for joining us in the chat. And until next time.
Peace.
God.